I do have a video to show you guys. It's kind of a whole montage of over the past 3 years of everything that's been happening, and it's been quite a journey. So.
17-year-old Easton LaChappelle from Colorado made this robotic arm that I was able to control by wearing a special band to read brainwaves and then raising my eyebrow.
This is my first BIF, and already this is extremely awesome. This is it's a really cool experience, and I already feel like we share some kind of like internal unison almost, something that bonds us all together. And I'm here today to talk about my creations. I had an idea when I was 14, and at the time, all it was an idea. I was determined to to turn that idea into a reality. And the idea was to create a robotic hand that was controlled by a wireless control glove. I started looking around online, and there was nothing really out there like that yet, at least to the public. I'm sure the military had all their cool toys and everything, but nothing out there. And I started looking around online and trying to understand what's actually going to go into it. And I turned to the internet as the main learning tool. I started teaching myself programming, electronics, different mechanics, CAD software, everything that will go onto this project. And the first prototype was really cool. To me, it was the proof of concept. It was a robotic hand that was it was a lot of electrical tape, electrical tubing as the fingers, small little hobby servos, which are found in RC airplanes, as actuators, and Legos as supports. That's just what I had laying around, and it worked really well, actually. That alone has a lot of applications. Robotic hand, which is it's cool. It's when you put on the glove, when you move your hand, the robotic hand will wirelessly copy your movements. I can be anywhere in the world and control this hand accurately, and that alone is just kind of a cool thought. Even for bomb defusal for the military, instead of having a soldier learn a new claw system, they put on this glove, and it would be as if they're out there. It does exactly what you do, and this was just a starting point. Instantly, when I got into this, I wanted to make more. I wanted to make cooler things. And there was this new evolving technology called 3D printing. And it's extremely fast-paced, and a lot of really cool innovations coming out of that alone. I started designing my first robotic hand, and I sent off all the designs to this company in Colorado to have it 3D printed. And I got a quote of upwards of $500 just to print the hand. Now, being 14, I didn't have $500 to put into an idea that was a flip of a coin. It was discouraging. I didn't know what to do after this. This was kind of the make it or break it point for me. I started networking, started looking around online, and I had a friend that worked at MakerBot Industries, which is a private 3D printing company. And he threw it on one night, and I had to pay for shipping. So this is really the key that kind of set this off. This newer hand, again, it has more functionality. It's a lot more practical than a hand with electrical tape all over it and electrical tubing as the fingers. It has individual joint control, an opposable thumb, and the whole control system is actually this wireless glove. Now, this was made back in 1989. This is a Nintendo Power Glove. It was originally intended for gaming. I'm sure some of you recognize this, but it's a cool glove. And I guess for Nintendo, it was kind of a flop. It had potential, but the market just wasn't ready for it. Now, in today's world, this has tremendous potential. There's sensors that are embedded within the fingertips that measure each individual finger angle. They act as variable resistors. So, say if I bend my finger, halfway, I can accurately measure that angle. And essentially, all I do is turn these sensor readings into motor signals and then broadcast that using wireless radios to the receiving end. Now, the cool thing about these radios is that they're transceivers, so they can send and receive data. And I actually have a sensor on the fingertip that sends data back to the glove, which gives me haptic feedback. It gives the user a sense of touch. Say if I was to pick up an egg with the system, I could accurately control how hard I'm grasping that egg. And that alone has tremendous potential. From there, I wanted to keep building things. At the time, I believe I was a sophomore in high school within all this. And I was always interested in science fairs, and a lot of my science fair projects just didn't really go anywhere. But I wanted to create something really cool, something that's new, something that's not really out there yet, and something that has a purpose. And I ended up building this full robotic arm from the fingertip up to the shoulder. This is the first generation of the arm. The arm cost right about $500 to make. It was strong. A lot of the motors I used on the shoulders, they're extremely powerful. They're really beefy. And kind of a weird thing I used was I used a DC motor, which DC motors, especially when you're dealing with direct shaft, it's not really practical to drive something that goes 0 to 90 degrees. It's not really practical. And I ended up turning pretty much a giant DC motor into a servo, which means that there's a feedback system on it. There's little sensors and light dimmers called potentiometers. I pretty much stuck one of those on the end of the shaft, and I was able to accurately read the angle of the shaft to about 1/10 of a degree. So extreme precision and a really low-cost system for the power. From there, I started. I got a job over the summer to help put money into this. I actually, my first summer job was spraying weeds. And that was the funding for all this. That's really where it all started. Now 3D printing, it's a really cool technology. I'm sure a lot of you know about it, but it's a 3-axis machine, X, Y, and Z, and it's essentially kind of a hot glue gun for ABS plastic or some kind of plastics. And you design something in the computer, and it prints it out layer by layer until you get a physical object. So I can design something in my room, and hit print, and within an hour, it's in front of me. And that alone is really fascinating, something that you're able to design something and have it physically in front of you. It's remarkable in today's world. I mean, it's a whole evolving technology. And the cool thing is you can actually print with metal now. It's bizarre. It's, a lot of the finger designs I have, it would be impossible to machine. I have a lot of complex internal structures within each of the finger joints and each of the hands that would be impossible to machine using big CNC machines that only 3D printers are able to print because of the layer-by-layer process. It's really cool. When I was at the science fair in Colorado, I had the first generation of the arm there, and I was showing it to the public. It was a public viewing. And this 7-year-old girl came up to me, and she had a prosthetic limb from the elbow to the fingertip with one motion, open, close, and one sensor. That alone was $80,000. And that was really the moment that really touched my heart, that it was really the aha moment that I could take what I'm already doing, transfer it directly to prosthetics, and potentially save and make people's lives better. And that was really, really fascinating for me. So I was determined, and this is the result of it all. This arm is actually completely 3D printed. Each of the pieces are all 3D printed down to each of the individual finger joint. Everything is 3D printed, making it extremely lightweight, extremely easy to work with, and say if a part breaks, I can have a new custom part within an hour, which is it's really fascinating. And for prosthetics, the turnaround time, say if you go into a prosthetic office, get fitted, get measured, the whole process, that takes months to do. With this system, I can take a quick 3D scan of any kind of amputee and have a working prosthetic arm for them probably within a week. The turnaround time is significant. Now, the cool thing about this arm is the cost. This arm I was able to make from the fingertip to the shoulder with the whole brainwave control system for right about $400. Now, I'm sure a lot of the phones and computers you guys have right now are more than that. So yeah, this arm is actually controlled using your brain, which is, it was something really new to me, especially, I mean, when you deal with the human brain, the human body is remarkable, and even going, working with the hand and the arm, I really gained a respect for the human body and how complicated and how well it works. And the human brain it's hard to comprehend how much power it actually has. And it's really cool to try and tap into that. This is actually the brainwave headset that reads about 10 different channels of your brain. And it's able to detect facial gestures, and it's all wireless. Now, for prosthetics, it's only sending a few inches, but psychologically on the user, it's a huge difference. This also has a lot of future potential. This is the second generation of the arm. I'm actually working on the third generation of the arm right now, which will really top everything. This third generation is really the final product of everything, and it's really the point where it can change people's lives. Again, stronger, lighter, better all around, extremely powerful, extremely efficient, and extremely lightweight. That's a big thing for prosthetics, is the weight of conventional prosthetics. The human arm weighs about 9 to 10 pounds average, and this arm actually weighs right about 10 pounds. So it's in that range, but I want it lighter. My goal is the 5 to 7 pound range for a full fingertip to the shoulder, and I'm already on track by that. It's probably going to be less than 5 pounds actually. I'm using carbon fiber now, and a lot of really cool technologies within that. This isn't where I stop. I like to make things. I like to keep going fast-paced and to really work with my hands. And I'm actually making this exoskeleton right now. And exoskeletons are really cool. It's a device. It's a device that will assist your motion. It will either give you extra strength or give you strength you never had. And the whole reasoning behind this exoskeleton is that there was this young man that I go to high school with. He was in a car accident, and he was paralyzed from the waist down. He has a 2% chance he'll walk again. And my goal is to create a pair of exoskeleton legs to have him walk at graduation. And again, my whole focus is cost, is that this isn't only going to be available for him. It's going to be available for everybody. And I'm not stopping for if you're paralyzed, if you have paralysis, if you have MS, if you have any kind of medical condition that's limiting you from full life. I want to solve this. And my approach is to give them something that they can afford and something that they can use easily. Now, throughout all of this, curiosity is really what kept me going. It was really the motivation, the drive I had behind it all. I kept asking questions, and I wasn't getting enough answers. And that's what was really the main point of all this was trying to find something that's non-existent yet, that I can really give back. And so it was a really cool journey. You can see I've been to some pretty cool places. This arm actually shook the hand of the president not too long ago, and it's been fun, and it's good to be here. So I challenge you to think outside the box and to redefine that box. Get rid of all those boundaries, and really challenge yourself. Thank you.